so I'm out of the city. This is, yeah, just some relaxing time for me. I just brought you guys along a little bit. Got the camper set up. I got to work on my curtains a little bit. Missy and I, we worked on them and sewed them. They're pretty rough, but I like them. And I have the shelf that I put in. I showed you that before. I'll try to include that in this video also. Just a little ventilated shelving shelf. Fits perfect up there, and when you fold it up, it doesn't. Just make sure nothing is right here in front of the door, and then it's totally fine. But so the camper's good. Nothing's busted, nothing's frozen. The battery works. I need to get some propane and for the big tank out on the front on the tongue. And then I just need to clean up. It's really dirty. I cleaned it up once this winter, so I've got to clean it up. On the inside it's dirty. On the outside it's super dirty. It needs this like every other year scrub down and bleaching and everything. If you guys have any tips on taking care of campers and keeping them clean on the inside and outside, leave them in the comments below, or link me a video if you have a good video on that. But my Appalachian Trail and Pacific Crest Trail tips for today, number one is don't get so fancy. Just get 1 liter, 1.5 liter water bottles. Even 2 liter soda bottles are awesome water bottles on the trail. And you know, you don't have to be so fancy. I usually kept small ones that fit inside my pockets the best, and I kept ones like this. And then sometimes I kept a platypus because I was using it all the time. It stayed really perfect. But you know, if you let those sit around moist, they get mildewy, and so you know, I always like to have a fresh bottle. Once they get bad, I don't feel bad about throwing them out. But most thru hikers eventually turn to using just a regular 1 liter, 1.5 liter, and 2 liter bottles from the store. Yeah, and to go with that one, my other tip is, you know, I feel that the best way to go on water purification is just the good old Aquamira. So we have right there. There you go. So we have basically 2 parts. It's chlorine, just like what's in city water, and you know, if you know what you're doing and it's from a spring, you can just drink it. If it's any kind of groundwater, you should always treat it at least. When I'm going somewhere like for a week, for 3 days, for 2 days, overnight, and I know there's going to be good water that I can just scoop up, I'll bring one of my other filters, and then sometimes I'll bring the pump if I know there's going to be running water that I don't want to drink. But you know, even if the water's running, you still don't want to drink it all the time. In the high Sierras on the Pacific Crest Trail, there's pink snow, and that's a bacteria you definitely don't want to get into. It's going to be pretty bad for you. You know, other than that, you know, you always, if you just use some drops, you'll be fine. Boil it, use some drops. But I always keep Aquamira. Just use 1 liter bottle. It's easy to measure out. I would keep an extra platypus just to, when I was in the desert on the Pacific Crest Trail, I would keep 2 liter platypus, 2.5 liter. On the Appalachian Trail, I rarely carried more than 2-3 liters. On the Pacific Crest Trail, I carried 9 liters one time, so it's a little different. 40 miles with no water is a big difference. But, you know, just taste and everything, this is the one that I would go with. You can use drops according to the CDC, just bleach drops. And you guys have to look that one up on your own. I believe it's 3 drops per liter, gallon. I don't know, you have to look that one up. Yeah, so that's your tips for the day. And that's coming from, you know, Pacific Crest Trail thru hiker and an Appalachian Trail thru hiker. And they're different trails, you know, and both trails I ended up thirsty a few times because the water was bad. I wouldn't even put it in my pump. And you just have to keep going and try to find some water. Hitchhike into town and buy water even. I've had to do that. I've even borrowed water at someone's home. I just knocked on the door and asked them when I was walking, you know, off trail back into a town to resupply, you know. So anyway, see you guys next time.
outside and go do something.
So this is Joe and Axel from Wilderness Rocks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Tell us what you think down below. There he is.